Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back. Bitcoin is going in the $50,000 range. Bitcoin is going into the $50,000 range very soon. I want to welcome you guys back to the channel. I hope you are having an amazing week. If this is your first time here, just do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching the stream, don't forget to hit the like button. We have a cryptocurrency market to talk about today. We have a Bitcoin to talk about today. I want to talk about, going in the $50,000 range. Sometimes in the next couple of weeks, it could be fast. All right, we could get in the $50,000 range sooner. Things can accelerate. This is a bearish breakdown. This right here is a bearish breakdown. This is a massive bearish confirmation. We talked about this yesterday. We've talked about a continuation of this crash on the weekly, for the last several weeks that we have been live streaming. And, I also want to talk about, what else? Altcoins. I also want to talk about altcoins. And I can give you guys an update on, Iron, Wolf, the miners, basically. So, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, just don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like. And, let me just go to, X. Let me tell the folks over there that I'm live streaming. Holy smoke, did I just get rid of, damn, let me just tell the folks on X that I'm live streaming. So maybe we can get a few more viewers. But welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday, wherever you are, in whatever that you got going on. Bitcoin is breaking down. I think earlier today we were around $62,000, which, it's not really a surprise. If you watch my stream, we talked about these targets. Let me tell the folks over on X that we are live streaming. Let me just tell the people over on X that I'm streaming. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday, wherever you are. BTC, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the cryptocurrency market. The market is dumping. The market is dumping. Earlier today, BTC traded around $62,000. This was earlier today, almost 61. We're gonna get to 61 pretty soon. We're going in the $50,000 range. So, does it even matter? To be very honest with you, does it even matter? But yeah, welcome back, guys. Let's see if if a few or more of you guys can join us, and then we'll get the show started. But I hope you're having an amazing Tuesday. Total market cap $2.21 trillion. The fear and greed index, yo, this right here, it's not. This is not a reliable indicator in a bear market, guys. In a bear market, the overall market is extremely fearful. So I hope none of you guys is using the fear and greed index as a reason to get into the market. In a bull market, fearful it's a good indicator. When we down extreme fear, this is a good time to be a buyer. But in a bear market, no. I mean, look at the price, $64,000. Why would you not, why would you not be afraid of this market? Look at the state of altcoins. You have Solana that was trading around $300, about 6 months ago. It's currently, below $80. So it makes sense to be fearful. It makes sense to not be bullish on the market. But yeah, I want to talk about the road to $50,000 or in the $50,000 range over the next couple of weeks. It could be sooner, but I want to give myself some time. I don't want to make irrational decisions. It could be sooner. Sooner we could be in the $50,000 range, but let's say a couple weeks from now. So, anyways, welcome back. I'm gonna get started since I don't want to waste you. I don't want to waste your time. You people that are already watching. So let's go, man. And if you have a project that you would like me to analyze, also put them in the chat, guys. But let's go. All right, let's go back to BTC and then let me do this one right here. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, here we go. There we go. Bang. So $64,000, that is the price of Bitcoin right now. Earlier today, we traded around $62,000, almost 61. But doesn't even matter. We are going to see 60,000. We're going in the $50,000 range. Sometimes over the next couple of weeks. We talked about this consolidation right here. I told you guys this was a bearish consolidation. I told you, don't even bother. Don't long Bitcoin. Just stay on the sideline because, it's going much, much lower. So, yeah, look, this is a breakdown. Yesterday, we said that if we close below $65,000, most likely this is the confirmation that we're going in the $50,000 range. And, you look at the aftermath, chat, 62,000, a bearish continuation. I mean, like what else is there to add on to this? Even when you go down to the lower time, guys, like we are having a hard time. Bitcoin is having a hard time. We're having a hard time just, even getting above some moving averages. Every time, we make it past the 50 on the 4-hour, we get rejected. All right, this was the end of this move. You look back right here, made above the 50 moving average. That was the end of the move. You look back right here, made above the 21 moving average. That was the end of the move. And this is exactly what a bear market looks like. In a bear market, price trends below moving averages. Every single retest is more likely rejected. And even when you make above moving averages, that tends to be the end of the move. So I continue to look at Bitcoin, and I don't know why anyone would be bullish right here. And this is a breakdown right here, guys. I view this as a retest of this breakdown. So let's talk about what you could potentially get from this move right here. We may push all the way back to around 65,000. Let's call it $66,000. We may push all the way back to 66,000, but I think right here we get rejected. And once we get rejected, this right here, guys, this move right here, after the rejection, this is the one that sends us in the $50,000 range. All right. So once again, what do we have right now? This is a retest of the breakdown. The retest as of right now is taking place on the 4-hour. It could also potentially take place on the daily. It wouldn't surprise me if, over the next 3 to 4 days, price of Bitcoin, gets back gets back to retest $66,000. So basically this yellow line that was previously a support is now going to become a resistance. So I think once you get rejected right here, if you are looking for a move that brings us into this $50,000 range, this is the one right here, guys. This is the one right here. So basically, I'll give you guys an example of this. If you go back to the last bear flag, it is right here. If you look at this bear flag right here, guys, once the flag was broken, this was the flag right here. Once the flag was broken, we had a retest right here, and the rejection is what sent us all the way down to $60,000. So what I'm saying to you is this retest right here, it's more visible on the lower time. If you go to the 4-hour, you see the retest. If you go back to the daily, you don't really see the retest because, we just don't have anything yet. But this retest right here, once this is rejected, you need to say hello to the $50,000 range. This is, something that we have been talking about for, the last several weeks. And this is a reason I continue to say to you, stay on the sideline. Don't do anything. Because we're in a bear market. There's nothing to be bullish. There's nothing to be bullish about. Maybe in the short term, if you want to have some fun, it's perfectly fine. Well, I don't even think it's fine, to be honest, because why entertain the possibility of losing your capital? So, I'm looking at a Bitcoin that is ready for, a major crash into the $50,000 range. Something that I've said to you guys over and over again is that, I'm not clickbaiting. When you see the title of my videos, when you see the title of my live streams, when I say I'm bearish, when I say this looks bad, I'm not clickbaiting. That's because I'm not even going to say that I'm doing my research. That's because, look, I'm live streaming with you guys, and we are all looking at it. All right, we're looking at the same chart, and depending on how you interpret this right here, if you think this is bullish, it's perfectly fine with me. But there's nothing bullish about this. And once the retest is rejected, once again, you're looking at a drop. I don't think 60,000. I don't think we're gonna hold 60,000. I think we're gonna blast through 60,000. And once you lose 60,000, guys, you have to welcome the $50,000 range. So this right here, to me, is going to be the new home for Bitcoin. Sometimes in the next couple of weeks. So whatever you do with that information is, totally up to you. Only thing I can do is, analyze the market, give you my opinion based on what I'm seeing in the chart, and anything after that is It's up to you. How you take it, how you apply the information, it is totally up to you. So this is not looking good. When you go down to the 1 hour, let's go down to the 1 hour, guys. Look, even the 1 hour, man, like we are just having a hard time, establishing any meaningful, all right, any meaningful uptrend. So on the 1 hour, we had this move from 60,000 to $72,000. We had these pullbacks right here. All right, had this move right here from 65 to 70,000. Had a pullback. So you can clearly see, man. There is just you can clearly see the bears are in full control of this market. The bears are in full control of this market. And chat, I'm not very I'm not very energetic because I'm not feeling too well. And I already told you guys this. So I'm more calmer today. At least these last few days. But shouldn't stop me from live streaming. But yeah, BTC is not looking good. And then when you go to the weekly, let's go to the weekly, guys. If you go to the weekly right here, the more I look at the two moving averages, the 21 weekly and the 50. I mean, this looks really bad. The more I look at price action, this looks really bad. I think $53,000, like that is a legit target. Right here, guys, $53,800. I think this is a legit target. We do have support, of course, before we get to 53. We have 58,000. I think we're going to lose $58,000. I think 53 is, like, this is a place where, and 56 also looks very interesting. So I'm going to say 53 to 56. Like, this is a place where BTC could potentially bottom. Like, I could see this is like another 10-15% crash maybe. Yeah, you're looking at a 15% drop. But if it goes lower, it won't surprise me. But 53 is very clear. I'm looking at 53 right here. To me, this one is very, very clear. 53, 54, 56. This range looks very, very clear. So, yeah, let's see, right? 15% drop. Like this is not going to take long if you actually think about it. This is like maybe a week or 2 weeks, maybe 3 at most, and then we have $53,000. So yeah, look, that is Bitcoin in a nutshell. I don't know if there's anything else to add on to this. So bearish Bitcoin, it's going much lower. Look, the 21 moving average on the daily is already at $69,000. I don't think we go above 69 now. Could we? Yeah, probably, but let's see. Yeah, look. I think it's a long way down from here. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. We're about to hit 300 subscribers, which is crazy. Don't forget to hit the like button. And yeah, let's keep going. All right. What else do we have? Let's talk about talk about Ethereum. Ethereum right here, $1,800. This right here is not good. We have a breakdown, and if you see bullish price action, it's nothing but a retest of the breakdown. So if you go to the 4 hour, this is bullish price action from $1,800. We're basically $57 higher. In terms of targets, maybe we go up to right here, $1,920. All right, retest the yellow line. That, if it's rejected, I think you're looking at a pullback. I don't know if we want to call this a pullback, but you're looking at a drop into this. Let me see. In terms of targets, I'm looking at $1,300. I'm looking at $1,300. So what does that look like percentage-wise? From the current price, this is a 25% drop. So look, if you guys want to do something in this market, just short it, man. So, wait for this bounce to be over. Once this is rejected, your entry could be around $1,860. I think that's a good entry. Once you get a rejection force. And then your stop loss could be above $1,920. So if this is an entry, if this is the entry right here, your stop loss is about 4% of your capital. Your profits, you're looking at 25%. This is a really, really good trade, guys. All right, this is a really, really good trade. So you're risking about 4% of your capital. You're going after 25% profits. That's a really, really good trade. This is the only way to make money in this market, if you ask me. So Ethereum looks really bad. And then when you go to the weekly, this is just bad, man. The weekly looks really bad. The 4 hour, once again, just like Bitcoin, again, having a hard time, getting above simple moving averages. All right. Every time, price breaks above the 21, that was the end of the move. Here we managed to break above the 50. That was the end of the move. Here we got rejected exactly at the 50. Here we got rejected exactly at the 50. And then you have these higher lows. All right. Here we break the trend with this move right here. All right. This was a disaster. So that tells you everything. So I'm looking at Ethereum right now, and look, I don't see how we're not trading at $1,300 a couple of weeks from now. Look, this is also a good entry, actually. You don't even have to wait for the retest. I think this is a good time to jump in. Your stop loss could be above, $2,000. So the risk here is 8%. So this one is more risky than if you wait for the rejection on the lower time. But you're still going after a 25% move. So when you think about the risk ratio, this is a trade that also makes a lot of sense. And then you look at Solana, $79. Solana setup the thing about crypto, man, is like the setup is very similar across the board, basically. So Solana's got a very similar setup. Again, this is a bearish pennant right here. All right, so this is your breakdown. The current green candle is a retest of this breakdown. So if I'm looking at Solana, I'm just going to wait for a rejection. So probably somewhere around, like $81, we might get rejected, or even way before that. You wait for a rejection. This one actually, the profit is going to be way, way bigger. So you wait for a rejection, and once it's rejected, in terms of target for Solana, I am looking at, just give me a second. I'm looking at $50. All right, I'm looking at a $50 Solana. That's the daily target, 51. So this is your target right here. If we go back to the 4-hour, so in terms of an opportunity you can take advantage of. Remember, this is not financial advice. Do your own research, guys. So let's say the rejection is around 81, 82. Doesn't matter. Entry could be around 78. Stop loss just right above. I'm happy with a stop loss above 82. That's a 5% risk. Profits. Oh, this one is juicier. You're looking at a 30. Let's call it a 30% profits. It's actually 34, but let's call it 30% profits. So risking about 5% of your capital. You're going after a 30% move. This is a really, really nice trade. The risk ratio makes a lot of more sense if you ask me. But you gotta wait for the rejection. 4-hour time frame is going to be your best friend. But once again, just like Ethereum, right? So you go to the 4-hour, man. Look, every single one of these moves right here, just not doing anything. Like, there is nothing there. And this is why, once again, it's very difficult to trade these moves right here, guys. And these are bigger moves, but they are extremely hard to trade them. So think about this, right? From 67 to 92, this is a 35% move. It's a lot easier to say, oh, I should have bought at 67 and capture this 34% move. But it's very hard, guys. Wait for your setup. Wait for your setup. When you go to the weekly, Solana looks terrible. I mean, really, really bad. This, to me, you gotta have to be patient. You might get a chance to catch Solana around $30, guys. Like, I'm very serious. You may get a chance to catch Solana right here, man. Like, right here. Right? At $30, personally, I'm not a buyer. I'm going to be a buyer sometimes in 2027. I need Solana to, you got to survive, First, you got to survive, and then we can talk about, entries. Because, look, I don't know. How long is this bear market going to last? I have no idea, guys. It could be just like the last bear market, or, it could be totally a different bear market. Because think about the changes, from the last couple of years to 2026. We have an administration that is pro crypto, but you look at the performance. We might as well go back to Joe Biden, and back in Trump first term. Back in 2019, 2020, like, that was a beautiful bull market. Joe Biden, that was a beautiful bull market. But Trump in 2026, the entire administration is pro-crypto, but, you look at the performance, it's not reflecting, what's in the White House. So, yeah, look, TA-wise, a bunch of these stuff looks really, really bad. We go down to, other coins right now. I'm looking at Sui. Sui's at 86 right now. This is a weekly. The weekly looks really bad. I think you have a very good chance of catching Sui somewhere in the 40, 50, 60 cents range. Just give it a couple weeks, I guess. You go to the daily. This is a breakdown. Again, same setup, basically. Bear flag. And I'm looking at this retest. To me, once again, a retest of the breakdown. It's not very bullish. It's actually bearish. So, if we get rejected right here, then I think we're coming into, let me see, what's the daily? What do we have in terms of targets? So yeah, if you get rejected, man, god damn it. You're looking at 70. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose 74. You looking at this range. You're looking at 45 cents to 57. This is SUI, guys. SUI, you're looking at 46 to 57 or 40, whatever. Yeah, whatever. So, in terms of what that looks like, it's a 30% drop. 46 at the lowest. Bad. Then you look at XRP, no, Aerodrome Finance. Aerodrome on the daily, what do we have? Let me go to the 4-hour. On the daily, I would just say consolidation. Here we can go like this, or we can just simply go like this. All right. If we go like this, that means this is a retest of the breakdown. All right. The only problem is on the 4-hour, we have made it back into the range. So that would invalidate this drop right here. And if we can break above like 34 cents, that could potentially mean that this was a fake out, and that will increase the probabilities of going higher. But I don't think we're going higher. Anyways, look, yeah, so you look at Aerodrome Finance, guys. I mean, this one, you basically are talking about, coming back to around 10 cents. This is my target right here. Unless we get, some sort of a rally in the 20 cents range. If you go to the daily, we might have something. No, we don't have anything. So I'm looking at 12 cents. So this one, what does that look like? If it gets rejected and then you get a pullback, I like entry around 30 cents. If you short in this, 30 cents entry, stop loss, wherever the top is of this move. This could be, like a 10% loss, but the profits is just crazy. So take a look at the profits, guys. You're risking about 10% of your capital, and you're going after a 60% move. So you're basically risking $1 to make $6. That's a really, really good trade. Makes sense to me. So yeah, look, the cryptocurrency market is just, all coins at least. We are cooked, man. Chat, do you have any questions? Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything that's not making any sense to you? And when you think about the trend, every single time, I'm on Aerodrome Finance right now, guys. Look, if I get rid of the price, let me get rid of the price right here for a minute. Let's hide the price. Chat, ever since we got this death cross, this is October of last year. We had a death cross right here. All right, around October 2025. The trend has been down. Every single time we get a rally, we either get rejected by one of these two EMAs, and whenever we make above, like whenever we get above, let's say the 50, which is a green line, we just, like, we don't have enough strength, if we want to call it strength. It's definitely strength. Or we don't have enough buyers, to send the price higher. So, you think about this pullback right here. We got rejected. Another pullback right here. We got rejected. The way I kind of look at these moves, like these guys are hunting. I don't want to say, like, this is what stops you out of your position, even when the trend or when you have the directional right. So you could have shorted Aerodrome Finance, let's say around let's say $1.10, and your stop loss could have been around $1.20, and you were targeting, let's say you were targeting 47, like you could have been stopped out by this move right here, but directional wise, you were absolutely correct. So sometimes when you look at moves like this, you start thinking, man, are they just after me? Like, are they just hunting my stop losses? Sometimes this drives you crazy when you are constantly getting stopped out, but directional wise, you were very correct. So, but anyways, yeah, when you look at the daily, like every single one of these rallies, it has always ended around this blue line or the green. So, we're back at the blue line. Is it going to end right here, or do we push a little higher towards, 40 cents and end the rally around the green, before we dump into the 10 cents range? That's $1 million question. You look at SUI, exactly the same thing, guys. Rejection, rejection, rejection. When you go to the weekly, it's even worse actually. How do I feel about Kaspa? Kaspa has been extremely bearish in a bear market since early 2024. Let me see. To be very honest, I don't have any feelings about any of these projects. I just look at the chart. If it looks good, I like it. If it doesn't, I don't like it at all. So yeah, Kaspa, this was the end of his bull market, July of 2024. This one was a big winner though in this last bull. I think it went up oh my gosh, man. I remember this thing was in a bull market from October of 2022. So yeah, 28,000%. That is just ridiculous. Anyways, it's been in a long-term bear market. If I'm looking, I don't like it. I guess you have some bullish divergency right here on the MACD, but you gotta have to be very patient. This is gonna take some time. If you go to the monthly looks, this is a disaster. This is gonna take a very, very long time. So what I would do is put a trend line right here, something like this. Let's go like this actually. Wait until we break to the other side of this yellow line. Whenever that takes place, that could be sometimes in 2027. But it's basically, it's a waiting game, like a very, very long waiting game. Yeah, every single one of these rallies, look, every single one of these rallies, they were very big. This was a massive rally from 5 cents all the way up to 13. That was a 150% move. There's another one right here. This is a 90% move. Like, you see how massive those rallies are? There was another one right here. This was another one. This is in 86%. But, despite how big these rallies were, you look at the overall trend, extremely bearish. So, if I'm looking at Kaspa, I wouldn't do anything until price breaks to the other side of this yellow line. So basically, I don't know how long this goes on. You want to see this. And then here's where you build a position, or you can wait for this breakout and build a position somewhere around here. So Kaspa, yes, it's deep in a bear market. Any other questions? Is there anything else that you people are interested in? Are you accumulating anything? Are you just watching? Have you pivot to the stock market? Oh my gosh. Oh man. All right, people. What else? BTC is having a hard time, a very hard time. Iran. I was looking at Iran. Speaking of Iran, looking at Iran, it's had a big move. And to be honest, I thought this week we were going to back down and retest $33. I thought we were coming here. Instead, it's breaking above 45. So I'm looking at Iran. Look, we have this dev cross on EMAs. I mean, are we gonna get rejected right here by the 21? Do we get rejected at the 50? Do we continue higher? That's what I'm kind of just I'm watching and I'm watching and I'm watching. If we break above 47, I think that increased the probabilities of going higher. And I have this trend line right here. Look, I think as long as the price is below this $63, I think chances are, Iran's bull market is over and, we're going lower. But the thing is, though, the monthly is still in an uptrend. And also the strength is with the buyers. So if you go to the monthly, like, there's really no reason to be bearish on the monthly. The only reason I'm bearish right now, and maybe I shouldn't, is because, when you go to the weekly, to me, this looks like a potential double top. This looks like a lower high. But if we can break above this yellow line, my bearishness, is invalidated. And my shorts are going to get, they are going to get, I mean, I'll probably just cut my losses, by the time we break above, once we break this yellow line, I'm definitely cutting my losses. But yeah, watching and watching and see how this all plays out, and then we'll have to reevaluate. Once we break above the yellow, or if we go below. Look, once we go below 33, though, to be honest with you guys, this is where I pick up a really big position. Right now, I don't have a my position is very tiny right now. It doesn't, it doesn't really do anything even if I lose 100% of it. It's basically one of those where, let me test the water. Let me see how this, looks like. But if we can go below 33, not only do you lose a major, major key support, you also below the 50 weekly moving average. And not only that, you are also below the 10 monthly moving average. The 10 monthly is extremely important to me. When I'm looking at long-term, the long-term health of an asset. So, yeah, let's see how this all plays out. But anyways, all right, people. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat. Um, hopefully your questions or whatever you were thinking about in regards to this market, hopefully I was able to answer a bunch of your questions. If not, man, you can ask right now. And if not, I'm just going to say, all right, that was it. And, we'll do this again tomorrow.